All right, to complete the square, we're trying to make a perfect square on one side and have just a number on the other side. So our technique we're going to use here is we're going to move all the x's to the left and all the numbers to the right. So to do that, we can do it in stages. I'll go ahead and do that so it's a little bit easier to see. First, I want to go ahead and move my x's to one side. One of my techniques is let's take care of the letters first. So to get rid of 14x on this side, we subtract 14x. What we do to one side, we do to the other side. So minus 14x on this side. We can only combine like terms. There are no other x's on the left side. These cancel, they're like terms, so 14x minus 14x, that's gone. On this side, we're left with x squared minus 14x plus 66. This is usually the order that we do things in. Then we're going to go ahead and on this side we still have our 15. So now we're going to go ahead and move the numbers to the other side. Numbers to the other side here. Minus 66, minus 66. We now have x squared minus 14x, and then negative 66 and positive 15 is 51, equals 51. Notice the equal sign drops straight down. And that's negative 51. I have more negatives here than positives. Okay? Now, we're getting closer and closer to meeting this form right here. So I'm going to go ahead and extend my work over here. And I have, I'll rewrite it, x squared minus 14x equals negative 51. All right. So our goal here is to make a perfect square with this x squared minus 14x. Okay? So the technique that they're encouraging you to do on this program is we're using a special number. They call it a magic number. It's to complete the square number. You have to memorize this formula. B over 2 quantity squared. This one you have to memorize. It's your complete the square number. Your complete the square number is always using that formula. So the general form of a quadratic equation is ax squared plus bx plus c. Now, I'm not really worried about my c right here. For this method, they move the constants to the right side. But what we do want is we want that b. There's our b right there. The number in front of x is the b. So I'll use that b in this formula right here. So I'll call this side work. So here's my side work. I'm using b over 2 quantity squared with that negative 14 in for b. So I plug that negative 14 in here. So I get negative 14 over 2 quantity squared. Simplify to find out what this number is. This simplifies into 2 goes into negative 14, negative 7 times. Still squared. Now, as you start doing more of these problems, this is a very important number right here. This number is the one that we're going to kind of use to help us get through some of the problem, if you can remember it. Negative 7 squared is negative 7 times negative 7, positive 49. Okay? Now the trick is, when you have this complete the square part, we're taking this complete the square number and we add it to both sides, which is kind of a different trick. Usually we're trying to take things away from these problems. This one, we're adding a special number that lets us do the complete the square process. So we can do it to both sides and it's still the same. All right? If you remember from my class, sometimes I like to add and subtract on the same side this magic number, but we'll stick to the process that they're using. So let's see, I got some more room down here. I'll do it over here. All right, we got x squared minus 14x equals, I'm running out of room here. I'm going to start over here again. X squared minus 14x equals negative 51. I am adding 49 to both sides. I am adding 49 to both sides. I hate jumping around like this, but I'm kind of stuck with this. Not much room here. All right. So here's where I'm at now. And I'm adding 49 to both sides. Plus 49 plus 49. That's your complete the squared number. This now turns into x squared minus 14x plus 49 equals, and 49 and negative 51 make negative 2. Now, this is what we need. So in my class, I like to teach what two numbers multiply to be 49, add to be negative 14. Sometimes they also call it a diamond problem. So let's see if I remember right. It's multiply up here, add down here, I think. What two numbers multiply to be 49, add to be negative 14? Negative 7 and negative 7. Negative 7 times negative 7 is 49. Negative 7 plus negative 7 is negative 14. That means this turns into, it factors into x minus 7, x minus 7, and still equals negative 2. We're almost done here. And this is the same thing. They're exactly the same thing. So I can rewrite it as x minus 7 squared equals the negative 2 still. Now we have completed what we were asked to do. We were asked to make this like x plus or minus a number, x minus a number, quantity squared equals some other number, in this case negative 2. Okay?